In 2050, humanity is enjoying a better life than ever before, thanks to the rapid development of science and technology. However, the sudden appearance of wormholes changed everything. On the other side of the wormholes is another world. Unknown beings came from there to Earth across millions of light years to take over the planet. The military weapons that people were proud of turned out to be completely ineffective against alien technologies. People began to retreat, but at this time, a cultivator suddenly appeared, bringing a glimmer of hope to humanity. After huge losses, humanity finally changed the course of events, sending the aliens back to the wormhole. Thus, humanity has gained a short-term peace. The art of cultivation has once again supplanted science and has become the subject of worldwide searches. This event is known as the first revolution of cultivators. And then the cultivation era began. 50 years have passed. 3 guys in the alley were standing over the body of the guy they attacked. That guy thought he was dead, but he seemed to be conscious. He stood up and was able to fight back against his abusers. After he finished with them, he asked about what year it was. He was told that it was the 9th of April, 2100th year. The main character remembered that at that time he was in high school, and apparently he was reborn. In the year 2120, the alien army attacked again and there was a final battle. It was unexpected that the aliens also became cultivators and were able to break through the realm of saints. Humans were no match for aliens and so they killed all of humanity. However, Tang Ming was able to be reborn 20 years ago. After he took revenge on his abusers, he asked for his money back and let them go. In a previous life, the main character was an orphan. Through step-by-step efforts, he was finally able to break through the Emperor's realm and became one of the leaders of the Cultivator Alliance. The main character did not expect that he would lose to aliens. The guy came to the high school and looked at the children who studied there. He realized that no one even now imagines that aliens will strike again in 20 years and all of humanity will die. The guy decided that since the Lord gave him another chance, he should destroy everyone. Early the next morning, the guy was sitting in his room and practicing. During the night, he had learned all the basic abilities of the high school of cultivation and now he needed to regain his previous level of cultivation. It's good that he remembered about his past life and so it will be easier for him to break through a new level. However, after the first level, you will need to break through the 9 gates, and then do it again and again. The incomparable kingdom, the Emperor's kingdom, the heavenly kingdom, the divine kingdom, and finally the kingdom of saints. Although the main character broke through faster than in his previous life, it will still be difficult to reach the kingdom of saints before the final battle. Therefore, he will have to train more. A girl named Wang Jin was walking down the street. Not only is she very beautiful, but she is also a cultivator of the Wang family and is rumored to have passed the first level of high school. In a previous life, this girl came from a family of cultivators of Taoism. Then she was an untouchable goddess for the main character. But this time he needs to cultivate by the method of microtone hardening and he must help the girl. On the 10th of April, the 2100th goal, the criminal cultivator escaped to Guangren and met the cultivator Wang Jin, who was training that night. After a long battle, Wang Jin finally killed that first-class cultivator, thereby gaining fame in the martial arts world. However, the girl herself was seriously injured and was recovering for half a month. At this moment, the main character was standing in the same forest and hiding behind a tree. He watched the criminal running away from the girl and decided that he was obviously unlucky to meet her. The man called a tiger Zhao Hu and told the girl that if she let him go, he would thank her generously. In response to this, the girl said that although he is a first-class cultivator, his spiritual strength leaves much to be desired, and if she captures him, she will be able to return to the Cultivator Alliance. If an ordinary little man had been hit by a tiger's claw, then his chest would have simply been torn apart. Cultivators alternately train bones, muscles, fascia, and skin. Zhao Zhu is focused on training his body, which made his bones like steel. Although Wang Jin has excellent skills, it won't be easy for her to break his arms. The man was about to kill the girl. The girl used the 4th level skill Heaven and Earth. This skill is unique in the Wang family, and is more suitable for women, but Wang Jin is not strong enough. As long as Zhao Zhu protects the vital point, milking him will not be a problem to resist the girl's sword. Zhao Hu grabbed the girl and if she doesn't recover, her life will be in danger. At this time, a boulder flew into the back of Zhao Hu's head. The main character decided that if he couldn't break his arms, he would punch his skull. Tang Ming told the girl that he was also a high school student and heard the screams, so he came to help. The guy thought to himself that he had intervened just in time, because a little more and she would have killed the man. The girl said that everything was fine and it was better for the guy to leave this place because she would kill him herself. Tang Ming told the girl that she was injured and it was better for them to fight together, but in response to this, the girl said that he was just an ordinary student and it was too dangerous for him. Tang Ming said that he is a cultivator who, in the face of death, goes to fight to save his comrades. At that moment, Zhu Hai attacked people again. The girl asked Tang Ming to buy her some time so that she could finish off the criminal with one blow. The guy began to fulfill the girl's request. After learning that Tang Ming is also a cultivator, he thought that there are only 13 cultivator families in the world and the guy is in one of them. In response to this, the guy said that he was self-taught. The man thought that although Tang Ming's skill is imperfect, only a master who has been cultivating for many years can use Kai. Therefore, the man decided that he was deceiving him. Tang Ming released his tiger claws like Wu Zhu and stabbed him. The man realized that the young man's skills were better than his. He began to ask Tang Ming to stop, because there are no disagreements between them. The man could not understand what kind of genius monster was in front of him, because an entry-level cultivator was beating him up. After that, the girl struck a fatal blow. This was the Wang family's secret sword technique sword release. Only a few people of high skill practice this skill. Even if Tang Ming hadn't come, the girl would still have killed the criminal. She thanked the guy anyway, and in response he told her to be careful on the way back. She asked the guy's name and he introduced himself as Tang Ming. The girl thought that she did not expect that there was still a student in the school who was engaged in cultivation and did not understand why she had not heard about him before. In high school, everyone was actively discussing that Wang Jin had killed a top-notch criminal cultivator last night. There was such a big noise outside that all the members of the Cultivator Alliance came and even Tang Ming was there. However, classmates thought that Tang Ming was there in the role of the victim. Suddenly Wang Jin entered the classroom and no one understood why she came. However, it turned out that she was looking for Tang Ming and did not expect that he was only a freshman. Next to the girl was Zhu Feng, a senior and follower of Wang Jin, who was ranked second in school. The girl came to thank Tang Ming and said that she couldn't have killed Zhao Hu without his help last night. Tang Ming's classmates heard about this and realized that he had also fought. They could not believe that this young man was so strong, because the culprit was a first-class cultivator of the martial academy, and even school teachers would not be able to cope with him. Zhu Feng turned to Tang Ming and said that he was not bad, since he was not afraid of a first-class cultivator and began to fight with him. His bravery is worthy of praise. But let's not deny that Wang Jin is stronger and she defended the guy. And even in a different scenario, the school would still not be responsible for the guy's death. Hearing this, the classmates whispered again. They decided that Tang Ming wasn't fighting, but was just a victim that Wang Jin was protecting. Besides, there are not many days left before the exam, and if something goes wrong, then Tang Ming will remain a loser. The elder advised Tang Ming that it would be much safer if he stopped leaving the house at night and did not hang out on the streets. But if he suddenly needed help, then his classmate Zhu Feng, would not refuse him. Tang Ming said he would be fine and pushed the guy's hand off his shoulder. This action offended the young man, because he publicly rejected his help. At that moment, Wang Jin said that if Tang Ming needed help, he could always turn to her. Zhu Feng leaned over to the guy and said that if he didn't want to die, then he'd better stay away from the girl. At the intermediate testing, it was Tang Ming's turn. If a person is not a cultivator, then he will not be able to continue his studies. The students watched Tang Ming take the test. They said that an ordinary cultivator overcomes the first level if he has more than 80% of the purified bones of the body. Only then they can control the power of Kai. Full-fledged cultivators have all the bones of the body brought to perfection. This means that only talented cultivators can reach the tempering limit, and Tang Ming was able to do it. It turns out that it was Tang Ming and Wang Jin who killed that first-class cultivator together. The girl watched Tang Ming's testing and realized that he was diligently hiding his strength. Zhu Feng told his friend Gu Kaiyan to try to find a moment to fight Tang Ming, and he agreed. He called out to Tang Ming and said that a high concentration of Kai does not mean that he has great strength, and if he has the courage, he will fight with him. But he also added that if the guy refuses, they will understand him and will not say anything. At this time, the teacher called Gu Kaiyan and told him to return to his seat. Tang Ming said that he accepts the challenge without any problems. The teacher warned the young man to be careful and at any moment she would stop the fight. The fight has begun. The teacher began to worry that not even every teacher could defeat Gu Kaiyan. But Wang Jin said that Tang Ming would easily cope with him and the teacher should not worry. Tang Ming easily dodged the man's attacks and said that he had a lot of strength, but he was too slow. He said that the power of Kai should pass through the whole body and asked if his mentors had taught him this. The teacher was afraid that Gu Kaiyan's next blow would be fatal, but Tang Ming dodged and struck back, after which Gu Kaiyan fell to the floor and lay unconscious. Everyone was shocked at how strong Tang Ming turned out to be. Zhu Feng also volunteered to fight Tang Ming, and he didn't mind. Zhu Feng was going to break all the guy's limbs and was confident that he would win. The teacher noted the technique of the Zhu Feng family. She also added that the unformed interstitial air pressure is used to increase the performance of the heart, increase blood supply, and increase physical qualities several times. The martial arts skills that are taught at the school have an elementary level. Zhu Feng realized that Tang Ming's physical strength had decreased and he would most likely lose, but the man needed to stop in time so as not to kill him. Zhu Feng's father owned the largest share of the medical equipment manufacturing business in Guangzhou, and also knows many cultivators and high-ranking officials. Crushing Tang Ming would be a piece of cake. Tang Ming stopped Zhu Feng's attack and said that his father was Zhu Hai, a second-rank cultivator who practiced Xuan H Xin Gu and possessed the skills of an empty palm. Tang Ming thought that this name was quite familiar. He remembers that the front line was destroyed because a cultivator named Zhu Hai joined the aliens and told them about key information about the solar system and planets. Zhu Feng's basic movements are exactly the same as those described in the news during the war, and there is no mistake about it. The traitor of the earth is Zhu Feng's father, B.S. Hai. Tang Ming told his opponent that even without special techniques, he would defeat him. But of course Zhu Feng didn't believe him and called him arrogant. However, Tang Ming was able to hurt his opponent and said that by increasing his physical abilities, he does not strengthen control, movements become much slower, and he still has many disadvantages. After that, Tang Ming said that the martial skills that are taught at the school are also underdeveloped. The battle with Zhu Feng is just a stupid training and a waste of time. He hit Zhu Feng hard so that he fell to the floor and everyone flew up to him, asking if he was okay. Tang Ming said that his opponent was too weak and he wasn't interested in fighting him. The teacher ordered to take Zhu Feng to the doctor and return to the test. Tang Ming injected Kai into a vital point and hit it. When the Kai seed germinates, it will destroy Zhu Feng's Kai system. The more Zhu Feng trains, the more the seed in his body will grow. Finally, at a critical stage, during the purification of bones, a reverse reaction will occur, and he will become a useless human being. Tang Ming had accidentally learned this ability in his previous life. Regardless of whether there will be a trace or not, even a professional cultivator doctor will not be able to find the root of the problem. He will begin to worry and only think that the cultivation process is going wrong. This will be a warning to Zhu Feng from Tang Ming to be honest with himself in the future. The teacher announced that the testing was over and they could go to the office to begin the writing part. Tang Ming will go first and has to go to the director. Wang Jin warned Tang Ming to be careful, as Zhu Feng would definitely report him. She also said that if she needed it, she would be waiting for him at any time. He thanked the girl for her concern, but said he could handle it himself. At the entrance to the school, friends exchanged their impressions of testing. Someone complained that it was so complicated that he would have to go home and inherit his father's company. At that moment, Wang Jin was coming out of the school. Some man took out a knife and almost hit the girl with it, but she defended herself in time. Weapons are prohibited at school, because the girl left her blade in the dorm, but these men still could not harm her. She dealt with the killers quickly. The girl asked other students to bring her a blade from the dorm. At that moment, Tang Ming appeared and said he would help the girl. In a previous life, it was Zhu Feng who helped her at this moment and therefore became close to her. However, now it's Tang Ming's time. Tang Ming began to help the girl to overcome the criminals. He used a grappling technique that is taught in high school and martial arts courses. The students who watched the fight could not believe that martial arts at school were so strong. Tang Ming decided that he had to deal with the enemies as quickly as possible to avoid surprise attacks. Wang Jin noted that the guy she is fighting is very dangerous. He had not spoken a word since the beginning of their battle and could belong to one of the big families, and therefore his blades could be poisoned. Tang Ming jumped out in front of the girl and said that she did not have a weapon and therefore it was better for her to leave her enemy to him. The girl, in turn, was surprised at how quickly Tang Ming dealt with his opponent. The girl noted that she had not seen Tang Ming for several days, but his cultivation had improved markedly. The girl also noticed that their enemies were not ordinary people, because their skills were at the level of a first-class martial art. She realized that she was unlikely to be able to get any information from them. Tang Ming hit the second opponent and he fell to the floor dead. The young man thought that only a few days had passed, but his striking power was becoming more and more perfect. This time he destroyed 80% of the enemy's heart and his pulse would not be literally in 5 minutes. The girl thought that Tang Ming had already saved her twice. After that, she examined the corpse of the enemy and found a tattoo on his neck. It was the sign of one of the 13 families, Murongo. Apparently, they really came to kill Wang Jin. The Murongo family and the Wang family have never gotten along. But that's no reason to ignore the laws and hire hitmen. The girl turned to Tang Ming and said that this was the second time he had saved her. However, this matter concerns her family and she will do everything in her power. Tang Ming understood that the girl was hinting that he should not interfere in family affairs. Tang Ming said that this place is not suitable for conversations and if the girl doesn't mind, then they'd better find another one. Tang Ming asked the girl to help him get the alien and forbidden stone. The girl replied that she would help him if he told her about his goals. Tang Ming replied that his cultivation method is special, and he needs to use the energy of alien stones to harden the cells of the body, and then use Kai to strengthen the body. Tang Ming added that he is not really a cultivator and therefore his Kai is limited. Because of this, he has to use medical booths to heal cells. The stone's ability is to surpass the speed of spiritual energy. This will help the young man slow down the rate of cell regeneration. The girl asked the young man if he was sure he could handle it. She also added that he should know that there are too many unstable factors and one wrong step can lead to death. Tang Ming assured her that he would succeed. He just needed someone to accompany him. Wang Jin said she would help the guy because he had already saved her twice. After that, they went to the Wang family hospital. The girl brought Tang Ming an alien and forbidden stone. She told the guy not to worry because this is her family's hospital and the guard is far away now, so no one will disturb him. She gave the guy the stones and he got down to business. The theory of mastering cultivation is as follows. First, you need to break the boundaries of your own body and use internal resources. Learning is just the cover of a book, because the essence is the release of energy and the prolongation of life. However, this secret magic contradicts the hypothesis. She teaches Tang Ming to use available resources to nurture cells. If Tang Ming continuously mobilizes the available resources, then his cultivation path will be in jeopardy. Suddenly, Tang Ming's heartbeat stopped and his body temperature began to drop. No signs of life were detected according to the computer. The girl didn't know what to do. Should she open the cab or call for help? Suddenly, the cabin opened by itself and Tang Ming got out of it. The secret of this technique is in danger. Fortunately, Tang Ming found a way to enter the state of false death in a previous life. It minimizes cell activity, otherwise Tang Ming would have died. The girl immediately rushed to hug Tang Ming and thank God that he was alive. Then the girl jumped back and asked him if he was okay. The guy asked the girl if she was worried about him. Wang Jin said she thought Tang Ming had died and was surprised. The guy told the girl not to worry and assured her that he was fine. He also added that this secret technique is too demanding. Right now, he was only at the first stage of cultivation and he had a lot of opportunities for development. The girl noted that with each practice the strength of the guy increases. She also added that he could die because even the strongest cultivator would not dare to try such a thing. The girl asked the young man about what he was going to do next. Tang Ming was standing in the hallway of the school and announced to the teacher that he wanted to join the martial arts competition. The students standing nearby did not understand how Tang Ming could join the competition if he was only in the 11th grade. Another of the students said that it did not matter because he was a cultivator of the first stage and had passed the intermediate tests at the university. Wang Jin added that Tang Ming is strong enough to take part in the competition and she will help him cope. The teacher said that since Tang Ming had already made a decision, he should inform the headmaster about it. At this time, Zhu Fen appeared in the corridor. He ordered his friends to beat everything out of Tang Ming so that he would lie in bed for the rest of his life. At this time, the young men were sitting in the office of Director Guan Chen. The director said that he did not think that there would be a cultivator of the first stage in his school, because Wang Jin was the only one. He also added that yesterday he was not at the testing and asked the young man to show his abilities. Tang Ming showed his abilities and the director was very surprised, because his strength was different from other cultivators of the first stage. The young man asked if he would now be allowed to take part in competitions. In response, the director allowed the young man to take part without any problems and added that if there were problems in the future, he could come to him and the director would help him in any way he could, because the doors of his school are always wide open. The director thought to himself that now he has another gifted student, and this will help his career growth. After leaving the director's office, Wang Jin said that the director offered the young man his help, and he has quite a lot of contacts in this area, so Tang Ming should think about which university he wants to enroll in. Tang Ming asked the girl what she thought about this. She replied that she was going to Manhwa. Tang Ming recalled that in her previous life, the girl entered Manhwa University and became one of the 10 most talented fighters who joined the army, and then into politics. He also recalled that in the Alien War, both students and teachers joined the battle. They sacrificed their lives for the sake of temporary peace. Then Wang Jin got a lot of fame. The girl asked the young man if he wanted to enter the University of Cultivators. At that moment, 3 guys blocked their way in the corridor. They approached Tang Ming and said that according to rumors, he wants to take part in martial arts competitions and they want to consult with him about it. The young man told the girl that she could go on with her business and he would help these guys. Tang Ming went along with 3 guys and they said that he did well to go with them, because they didn't want to beat him in front of everyone. Zhu Fen watched all this and said that he was going to make Tang Ming an invalid. Tang Ming and the 3 other guys he left with were standing on the roof of the school. One of them said that the young man had recently crossed the line and now he and his brothers wanted to sell him a lesson. Tang Ming realized that the guys were not students of this school, and they were sent by Zhu Fen. The young man realized that the leader of the guys is a first-class cultivator, and the other 2 are qualified cultivators. The man told Tang Ming that it was good that he understood everything himself and maybe they would break all his bones, but he would stay alive. All 3 of them attacked Tang Ming, but he quickly scattered them. Leaving the roof, he met Wang Jin and she asked the guy about what he was planning next, because Zhu Fen would take revenge on him at any cost. The girl said that her family can help with this. Zhu Hai, Zhu Feng's father, is an influential and wealthy man in Guangzhou, but even so, he is still a second-class cultivator. However, he was able to achieve such good skills. It is rumored that 10 years ago, Zhu Hai found an ancient cave in the countryside, and after that he acquired such abilities that ancient cultivators left behind. Legendary skills are not so easy to acquire. Even a wandering 5th grade cultivator will have to join some kind of alliance to master such skills. Tang Ming said that he doubts that the people in this city are not a means to gain advantages by forming a hidden network. But Zhu Hai does not have the power to control this network. Perhaps he is hiding his true face, or maybe he is just a link in the chain. In any case, he does not do for the city nothing good. The girl said that she only knows that in his youth he was extremely poor, but 10 years ago he radically changed his life thanks to the business of manufacturing modern medical equipment. The young man assumed that Zhu Hai had passed through the black hole into the city 10 years ago. The girl asked if the young man thinks that Zhu Hai relies on aliens. He replied that he might be cooperating. In recent years, there have been many criminals in the city who came here from another world, who know how to disappear at the right moment, and Zhao Hu is a good example of that. The guys decided to check Zhu Hai's data to see where he was spending his money, as they decided that Zhu Hai was hiding criminals away. At this time, in the Zhu Hai Corporation, the head of the corporation was discussing the cultivators who attacked Tang Ming. He was reminded that Zhao Hu had died and that it was not the alliance that was involved, but the daughter of the Wang and Tang Ming family. The man realized that the daughter of the Wang family is the girl his son fell in love with. Zhu Hai ordered to send a man to his son and tell him to stay away from this and stop dramatizing. Otherwise he would be destroyed by the plan of the head of the corporation. From now on, everything Zhu Hai does will be like walking on a blade. One wrong move and everything will collapse. In any case, in one day, the Zhu family will become prosperous and successful, and will also receive the title of the 14th best martial arts family in China. Tang Ming and Wang Jin were at the Wang family hospital again. The young man came out of the same machine, and the girl asked him what he would do next. The guy replied that if he repeated it 2 more times, his body would become the same as that of a first-class cultivator, and in the future he would be able to become even stronger. The girl replied that although this method is dangerous, but the effect of it is enormous. Suddenly, the young man said that he had accidentally stumbled upon a website for cultivators dedicated to communication and the exchange of methods. Tang Ming took a book out of his pocket and handed it to Wang Jin. He said that maybe it sounds old-fashioned, but it's useful, and even more so there are healing methods in this book. He also added that these methods are closely related to sword skills, and with this the girl will become much stronger. The girl picked up a notebook and began to read. She said that the hypothesis of the healing method is amazing, along with the correspondence about swords. The girl was very grateful to Tang Ming and said that he helped her a lot. In response to this, the guy said that in fact he himself had learned a lot from the girl. Tang Ming assumed that he was the only one who told the girl about it. In response to this, Wang Jin told the guy not to be modest. Eternal saved her life 2 whole times. On top of everything else, she added that he is a participant in martial arts competitions. The girl said that now they are with a partner's boyfriend and told him to call her just Ding. Both the girl and the boy were embarrassed. Tang Ming thought about how he used to be all alone and constantly trained in previous lives. He had never felt anything like this and it confused him a little. Suddenly, the girl remembered that she had ordered her people to watch Zhu Hai. She said she found out that Zhu Hai's campaign is quite strange. They have large amounts of money in their account that are not taken into account, as well as frequent staff transfers. Some claim that they are the most powerful in the world. Also, all their technology and equipment appeared out of nowhere. This has already been reported to the Alliance and they are going to investigate and find evidence to issue a warrant for his arrest. Tang Ming added that they should be more careful. It took Zhu Hai 10 years to become an influential figure in Guangzhou. The guy added that it's not just like that, and someone is behind him. The girl said that the young man has 2 more days of competition ahead of him, so he shouldn't worry so much, since the Cultivator Alliance is dealing with this. Wang Jin added that she still doesn't know her abilities well enough and isn't sure how teachers will react if she shows her demonic behavior. In the National Martial Arts Stadium of Guangren, competitions were held in which Wang Jin participated. Everyone was watching the girl from the stands. The girl got a score of 5 and Tang Ming went next. The guy went into the fight room and the teacher told him not to worry, because it's enough to hold out for only 3 minutes. In just a second, Tang Ming was able to remove the teacher from the field. Everyone in the stands and the teacher were shocked. Now everyone was talking about the fact that there were already 2 gifted students in the school. Tang Ming got a score of 5 and got the first place in the country. Tang Ming and Wang Jin were the center of attention. Fortunately, the experience of his past life helped Tang Ming to take the first place. The girl asked the guy what university he wants to go to. Tang Ming replied that he was considering Hanbei. Hanbei is always ranked among the top 10 best universities in China. Methodology and theory are taught there. After training, most students simply become experts in philosophy regarding martial arts. On the other hand, Hanhui University specializes in practice. Their students usually become high-level cultivators. The guy remembered that during his previous life, Hanbei had published about the same discoveries in the field of cultivator quality, which led to the Second World Magic Revolution. Since then, this university has become a sacred place for cultivators. The guy told the girl that he could not tell her everything, but she could trust him, since he was sure that they would both become highly qualified cultivators. The girl said that she believed Tang Ming and they would go to Hanbei together. In the underground tunnels of Guangren were Yao Ming, a sophomore of the Imperial City Military Academy, and Wang Chengfeng, a third-year student of the Imperial City Military Academy. They were on a mission. They found all the criminals who had disappeared over the past couple of years in flasks with a life support device. They had to inform the Alliance immediately so that Zhu Hai would be arrested. At that time, Zhu Feng was lying in the intensive care unit of the Zhu family hospital. The young man was seriously injured when his spiritual energy got out of control during training. At that moment, the police broke into the hospital. They said that Zhu Hai is suspected of hiding criminals, conducting experiments on people, and declared a national criminal. Zhu Hai started resisting arrest. In the end, Zhu Hai dealt with everyone. The man picked up the sleeping paper on which were the names of those who opened it. Now that the secret of their family was revealed, the man could not allow his son to go to the Alliance. After a while, 2 spies arrived at the hospital. They found all the police officers killed. The girl said that most likely the criminal escaped and they need to warn the Alliance so that they block the exit from the city. The girl noticed a paper on the floor on which the names Wang Jin and Tang Ming were written. At that moment, Tang Ming and Wang Jin were going to the university on the Hanhua train. The guy said he didn't expect the girl to go to university with him. Suddenly the train stopped and the same girl from the police came into the car. She turned out to be Tang Ming's sister. It turns out that the boy's parents were subordinates of Yang Ming's parents, but in the First War, their parents died and Yang Ming was transferred to the Imperial Military Academy. A colleague of the girl, with whom she was on a mission, said that they have evidence that Zhu Hai is connected with aliens. However, the men were able to escape. He also found out that it was Tang Ming and Wang Jin who dripped under him and now he wants revenge. Suddenly the train began to shake. There was a terrorist in it. These terrorists turned out to be Zhu Hai. He came to kill Jin and Min. Wang Chengfeng knew that he did not have enough strength to defeat the criminal, so he asked him to just leave. In response to this, the man said that when everything is revealed, not Earthlings, not aliens will not tolerate him. The man said that only when he kills these 2, he will be satisfied. The policeman ordered the students to run away as soon as possible, and said that he and Yao Ming would buy time for them. Tang Ming said that he and Wang Jin already have enough power to help. He said that even if the policeman did not detain him for a long time, the man would still return for the students. The policeman told the students what to do and did not start fighting. The man said that he was a 4th grade cultivator and his body was completely hardened from bone to skin and they couldn't beat him. The police officer thought that battles with members of the martial arts family are always troublesome, since their skills are higher than more than one class of ordinary ones, and it is almost impossible to dodge their attacks. Imperial swords are very rare, there are only a few cultivators with a class above the 5th. The fact that Wang Chengfeng received it shows that the Wang family values him very much. During the fight, Zhu Hai decided that she would kill the girl with the spirit technique first, since the others did not pose much danger to him. Wang thought about the fact that the military academy had trained a talented student who mastered the spirit technique in these 10+ years. If Yao Ming dies during the mission, he won't be able to explain it to the director. As a result, the man said he was tired, and when the students and the police loosened their grip, he suddenly exploded to kill them all in one fell swoop. He laughed and said that all the cultivators of the city are looking for him now, so it would be good luck to escape. What exploded now was the air he used inside to protect his wounded heart. Zhu Hai said he had 2 more hours to live. However, this is more than enough to kill Tang Ming and Wang Jin. A 4th grade cultivator was seriously injured, so even a student like Tang Ming would be able to defeat him, just need to put a little more effort. Zhu Hai and Tang Ming fought together. The criminal wanted to tear off the young man's hand. However, Wang Jin came to the defense of the guy. Tang Ming started using his sister's spirit technique. The girl shouted to her brother to grab his girlfriend and run away. The man replied that if even one of the students dares to escape, he will kill everyone on this train. Wang asked about how Zhu Hai could become an alien worker when China helped him become a cultivator. In response to this, the man said that he had been practicing martial arts since childhood for 20 years, and then aliens invaded their country. China called for people to come to the service and he went. However, if not for the unexpected deal with the aliens and the help he received from them, he would not have survived this battle. He said that China did not help him in any way, since the state forced him to join the army and doomed him to certain death. Thanks to the advanced technologies of the alien race, he became 10 years younger and increased his capital billions of times. He said China couldn't give him that. The man added that in any case, when aliens land on Earth, humanity will die sooner or later. Tang Ming said that they would not die and humanity would not perish, because he would personally send all the aliens back to the depths of the universe. In response to this, Zhu Hai said that the aliens have already begun to study human bodies and cultivation methods. More than a dozen underground laboratories under his supervision are their property. They participate in the research of cultivators of the 1st and 2nd class. When the research is completed, humanity will be doomed. Tang Ming thought that it was not surprising that in his past life, the aliens had mastered the secrets of cultivation so quickly. It turns out that traders from Earth helped them conduct experiments. Wang Chengfeng asked Zhu Hai about who else was helping the aliens, but he did not answer anything. The man said that the students had no other choice and Tang Ming's time was up. It was time for him to accept his death. The young man said that he would not die and would do everything to stop the man. The guy thought that he had no way out and would have to summon some of the forces from his past life. Zhu Hai attacked Tang Ming, but he blocked the blow. Wang Chengfeng said that the girl's brother uses the most ordinary martial arts, but his physical fitness is much higher. He surpassed the level of a 1st-class cultivator. The girl replied that even so, a 1st-class cultivator is not a match for a cultivator at the 4th, albeit wounded level. The girl did not understand how her brother could fight with Zhu Hai on equal terms. The guy replied that her brother relies on his eyesight. Few cultivators can awaken natural talents during combat or training. Tang Ming's vision is strong enough to find weaknesses in his opponent's movements. The guy also assumed that he learned his sister's spirit technique as soon as he saw it. Zhu Hai laughed and said that he was a 4th grade cultivator with steel bones, and even if he stood still all day, Tang Ming would still not be able to break through his physical defense, and even if he missed, he would still be able to exhaust the opponent to death. Suddenly the young man stopped. The man laughed because he thought he was tired, but suddenly he noticed that he could not move. The man asked his opponent what he had done to him. Tang Ming said that one day he came across a book on medicine written by ancient cultivators. It contains dozens of important points on the body. An ordinary person will be seriously injured or on the verge of death if these points are at least once pierced by something sharp. These were dots in the internal organs. The guy said that the skin and git of his opponent is like armor, but the internal organs are no different from the organs of ordinary people. After that, Zhu Hai fell to the ground and died. The policeman said that Tang Ming is young and talented. He has created his own method of acupuncture and has great cultivator abilities. A novice cultivator and already has military merit. The head of the families has already concluded an agreement on the marriage of Wang Jin with the heir of another aristocratic family. If people find out that Tang Ming and Wang Jin are close, then there will be a lot of problems. At the Hanbei railway station, Yao Ming was saying goodbye to Tang Ming. The guy said he was touched that she was seeing him off. The girl said that no one expected that the young man would take first place in the country in the exam. She said his uncle and aunt would be proud of him. The girl also added that when they arrive at the university, they should study hard and conduct research. It is much safer than being on the front line. And if a young man is bullied, then he should immediately call his sister. She will come and deal with the offenders. The guy thought that he was not going to the university to hide and conduct research. The brother told Jin that Tang Ming was a very nice guy and it was good that she was friends with him. But they should not go further. He reminded her that her parents had already concluded a marriage contract with the heir of another aristocratic family, which could not be terminated. At the registration desk of the first-year students of Hanbei University sat Lai Jiahan, a third-year student of the university, who is responsible for admitting new students. As soon as I heard the names of Tang Min and Wang Jin, I was immediately taken aback. A crowd of people began to run up to the guys. It was their fans. They overwhelmed the young man and the girl with questions. They realized that they were too famous for freshmen. At the same time, on the other side of the train station, Fan Xiaoying, who took third place in the National Martial Arts exam, rejoiced that she had finally escaped from her grandfather and arrived at the university. Her grandfather wanted her to enter the imperial capital because he works there as a director, but in fact he just wanted to continue to control the girl's life. The girl believed that she was a genius who had not been born in the Fan family for more than 100 years. She believed that she could not live under the care of her grandfather and had to build a career on her own. She wanted to get the title of a 9th grade cultivator as soon as possible to surprise Grandpa and see how ashamed he would become. The girl went to the counter to register for the university, but found there a crowd of fans who were courting Tang Min and Wang Jin. It was obvious that the girl was jealous of them and believed that she could not be worse than them, since her grandfather was an 8th grade cultivator and she was his #1 student, whom he taught everything himself. The girl decided that she should take first place among the freshmen in Hanbei. Tang Ming immediately recognized the girl from the Fan family. The guy remembered that when in his previous life the theory about living the limit of the 9th grade came out, it was personally tested by a 9th grade cultivator from the Fan family. A few months later, she became the first person who was able to go beyond the physically possible. Wang Jin noticed that the girl is very strong and can reach the first class without any problems. The girl also added that the Fan family's inner strength technique is the same as the Wang family's sword power. They can kill higher level opponents while having powerful hidden powers. If Tang Ming and Wang Jin hadn't come to the university, then this girl would have become the strongest newcomer. At that moment, the students were invited to Hanbei University, which should become their home for the next 4 years. When he came to the university and saw its architecture, the young man realized that he really deserved to be called one of the 10 best universities in China. The mourner announced that the university has a long history. Since its foundation, a lot of famous cultivators have graduated, and the Chinese Cultivators course program was first organized and adopted by Hanbei University. Suddenly, Fan Xiaoying came out into the crowd and invited Tang Ming to fight. She told the others to bet on the victory of the strongest freshman in Hanbei. The girl liked that so many people were looking at her and she thought that it would be even better if she received the title of first-year student #1. She also thought that when the news reached her grandfather, he would feel ashamed for calling her stupid. Suddenly Wang Jin came forward and invited the girl to fight with her, but she replied that she needed the first place, not the second. The young man agreed to the fight. He assured his girlfriend that they would just face off and he would keep himself in hand. The guy thought that if he refused to fight, then other students would begin to doubt his first place. The guide said that in this case he would find a free arena for combat battles, but Tang Ming replied that it was alright. This place would also suit. On top of everything else, he thought that the others would also want to see how high his level was. The students were happy that today is only the first day, and they are already fighting the battle of the first and third place holders. The girl prepared for the fight and thought that her opponent was holding up well. If she lost today, she would no longer be able to stay at this university. The girl began to attack the guy, but he easily blocked her blows and dodged. Fortunately, it seems that this Fan Xiaoying is no match for Ming. The girl used her own technique. Within the Fan family, energy is a mixture of external and internal strength. It is very difficult for her to learn and even more so to master completely. Fan Xiaoyan not only mastered this technique at a young age, but was also able to create her own. All the students who watched the fight decided that Tang Ming really deserved to be number one. Instead of the classic tiger and cat attacks, the girl used a chainsaw. All these martial arts techniques were created by a girl by observing the nature of things. Regardless of the name, their strength is great. Even a first-class cultivator will not withstand 2 or 3 blows. Tang Ming reminded the girl that she only had 1 punch left. The girl said that it was for this reason that she put all her strength into him. The girl and the guy hit at the same time. Their forces collided. The guy used the power of vibration to repel the girl's fiery fist. The girl realized that she couldn't beat the guy. Tang Ming saw how upset the girl was and said he could teach her. The girl was very happy with such an offer. She bowed to the guy and said that now he would be her older brother. The girl thought that when he teaches her everything, she will be able to come back and surprise her grandfather, but also defeat Tang Ming and become his older sister. The girl took a short tour of Tang Ming and Wang Jin. She showed them where their dorms were and said that the university staff had already delivered their luggage there. She said that she had familiarized herself with the rules at the university before her arrival, so if the guys have any questions, they can ask her about it. Tang Ming Po thanked the girl. Fan Xiaoying said that the boys' dorm is on the right and the girls' dorm is on the left, so they will have to split up at this point. The guys went in different directions. Tang Ming realized that it was time for him to meet the roommates with whom he would live for 4 years. There were already 2 guys in the room. One of them introduced himself by the name of He Yan, and the other was called Zhao Lion and he was from Nanjing University. As soon as Tang Ming introduced him, the guys immediately recognized him. At that moment, another guy burst into the room. He began to shout that Tang Ming would live in this hostel. The guy said that he was very excited about living with an excellent student. The guy's name was Xiao Fei. Tang Ming extended his hand and introduced himself. The guy began to shake his hand very hard. He said that from now on he would call him Big Brother, and he also added that he would take care of everything so that he could calmly practice cultivation. The next morning, the freshmen gathered in the square. This year, Hanbei has recruited a lot of freshmen, despite the fact that many people tried to enter this university, but they had no chance. The guys did not understand why they were collected in the morning. Xiao Fei suddenly appeared and greeted Wang Jin, thinking that she was Tang Ming's fiancée. The young man said it was nonsense. In response to this, the neighbor said that even if he does not recognize it now, sooner or later he will still have to, because they are perfect for each other. Beautiful women go to heroes, and Tang Ming is not only handsome, but also a martial arts champion, and Wang Jin is dazzlingly beautiful. Fan Xiaoying thought that the neighbor can suck up well, so she should be vigilant, because no one should take her place as the number 1 little sister. At that moment, someone appeared on stage and shouted loudly into the microphone, asking for silence. One of the teachers standing on the stage noticed that only 3 students withstood the sound waves of teacher Lei Yin Liu, and apparently they have at least some strength. Another teacher in response to this said that she could not have thought that all 3 first places would come to them, because this happens for the first time in the history of the university. Another teacher said that Teacher Yin Lu's sonic attack power is not that strong and he can test the abilities of these freshmen. These teachers had a practical martial arts teacher named Yu Shan. He thought that too much pressure was undesirable, and the headmaster wouldn't like it if he hurt the students too much, so he decided to use only half of his strength. The man stamped his foot and an energy wave spread everywhere. The students could not stand it and began to rise in the air and then fall to the ground. However, Tang Ming stood his ground. He was thinking that the teacher who did this is a 7th grade cultivator. He was literally 1 step away from the 8th, but in the process he was trapped in his rage. The young man did not expect that there would be real martial cultivators in Hanbei. The power of this teacher's suppression is as great as a stream of water. The young man also thought that the Wang family's sword would rather break than bend under someone's power. Wang Jin could also use the power of the sword, so the suppression had little effect on her. And Fan Xiaoying's strength is equal to 1000% of her grandfather's strength, and it is very useful. The teacher said that the results were not bad. It was rare that this university managed to get 3 cultivation geniuses at once. He also added that after a little training, they will be able to get ahead and become the best representatives of Hanbei. And after 2 years of training, they will even be able to get into the Martial Arts Confederation. One of the teachers said that these 3 are really good if they enter his class. he will be able to directly teach such gifted students. In response to this, he was told that what he was saying was shameless, because with his amateurish abilities, he would be ashamed even to detain them in his class. Teachers began to quarrel because they could not decide who would be the best student for the 3 students. While the teachers were arguing hotly, Hua Fengyang was standing in the distance. She thought that hardly anyone would want to study with her. She has not accepted students for 2 years, and this time will most likely be the same. She was afraid that funding for the study would be cut in half. Obviously, now is not the right time for research, so if there are not enough funds, then you have to look for other ways to earn money. The girl thought that as long as there is at least 1 student, funding for the study will not be reduced. The teacher turned to the rest of the students and said that they could not cope with even a small degree of suppression. Some of the students said that they had not come to Hanbei to enter the battlefield. In response, the teacher shouted that being a cultivator without selflessness in battle is like being nobody. He also added that she would have fallen a long time ago if she had relied on people like them. The teacher said that if the students didn't fight, he would force them. He announced that from now on, the students outside would have to fight each other, and each victory would earn 1 point. The number of people and weapons is unlimited. Students have to fight so hard until it comes to death. The teacher also added that if someone wins at least one of the 3, he will get 100 points. The teacher said that with the help of points you can get medicines, weapons, military equipment. He also added that few people get a lot of points in the first year. One of the students wanted to start fighting, but he was stopped and told that if he spoke out against children from large families, having received 100 points there, he would not be able to live in peace. The guys decided to come up with a cunning plan. They thought that no matter how strong Tang Ming was, he wouldn't be able to handle the crowd. If they acted together, then whoever stayed at the end would be the winner. At that moment, the roommates approached the young man and said that they were on his side and would always help him. The guy said that he didn't need help yet, and when he needed it, it was better for them to stay away. The guy started warming up and said that he would show his younger sister how to use the spiral technique and the thunder technique. The guy got ready for a fight. Tang Ming was standing in the square of Hanbei University. The young man told the students that if they are not strong enough, you should not get in his way. In response, they shouted that for the sake of points they would still defeat him. One by one, the students began to attack the young man, but he repelled all the blows. Wang Jin realized that there was no need to worry about Tang Ming, and Fan Xiaoying clapped and supported her older brother. The teacher who watched the fight said that the guy's courage is commendable, since there are few such selfless students now. He also added that it is a pity that no matter how strong a person is, he will still have to give up when faced with a whole crowd of opponents. The teacher was sure that Tang Ming would lose. Tang Ming repelled the students' attacks one by one. No one could withstand even a single blow or last more than a few seconds. After that, the teacher said that this guy was really superior to him, but he wondered how long he could withstand the attack. The teacher thought that the guy would lose after all. At this time, the young man was repelling the attack of the 61st disciple. People thought the guy had eyes in the back of his head. One of the students attacked Tang Ming from behind, but he again repelled his attack, thus defeating the 62nd student. After that, the teacher said that Tang Ming was just a monster with an endless supply of strength. He can still withstand the siege of hundreds of students. He simply has no worthy rivals. The teacher also said that in the past, freshmen did not have such much fighting power when they entered, and this guy is just a genius. Stopping, Tang Ming decided that this was enough to purchase various resources because he had defeated 100 students, which means he scored 100 points. The guy also decided that all the students are his classmates, so he has no reason to heat up the relationship between them even more. However, at this moment, another crowd of students ran towards the guy. They decided that Tang Min was running out of strength, and they would be able to knock out 100 points. After that, the guy banged his fist on the ground and said that if the students were not afraid of death, then let them attack, since Tang Ming would no longer hold back. There was a large hole in the ground where Tang Ming had punched. The students said that this strike has the destructive power of a second-grade cultivator, and decided that they would not try to attack the guy anymore, at least for today. The teacher announced that the battle was over and those who were still fighting should stop. He also said that the points will be credited to the cards of first-year students and they can be exchanged for educational resources at the exchange office. After that, the teacher turned to Tang Ming. He praised him and said that he liked him like him and asked about which teacher he was going to choose. The teacher also added that among all the teachers he has the highest strength, which can be considered investigative. The other teachers were extremely outraged by this behavior, but could not do anything. Tang Ming replied that he chose Hua Fengyang as his mentor. All the teachers were very surprised and shocked. The teacher decided that Tang Ming had misspoke. He said that the guy is here for the first time and therefore does not know everything. The teacher added that Hua Fengyan had previously developed only her own cultivation skills, and over the past 2 years, due to her own impotence, she had not taught a single student. In response, the guy turned to teacher Yu Shan and said that he had studied the information about university teachers on the official website, and chose Hua Fengyan. Fan Zioyan said she would choose the same mentor as her older brother. She thought that together with Tang Ming, she would learn those 2 techniques faster, and there is no difference in choosing a teacher, since they are not as good as her grandfather anyway. After that, Wang Jin said that she also chooses Hua Fengyan's mentor. Yu Shan said he didn't agree. The man also added that these 3 students are extremely talented. University is the most important time for cultivators, as they lay the foundation for strength. The teacher said that if they chose him, he would provide them with any assistance in achieving the desired level even before graduation. Another teacher intervened and said that students have the right to choose their own mentor, and he cannot interfere. In response to this, the teacher said that he simply did not want the top 3 students to fall behind. There are no shortcomings of researchers in Hanbei, but what the university lacks is practical combat power, which is why the director invited a teacher from the army. The teachers continued to argue. At this moment, Tang Ming said that if the mentor is afraid that they will lose all their strength, then the young man guarantees him that they will not reach the level of the 2nd class of cultivation before the end of the semester. And if this does not happen, then they will study under the patronage of Yu Shen. The teacher agreed to the terms of the guy. At that moment, Hua Fengyan's mentor was surprised that the top 3 martial arts students this year chose her as their mentor. The girl was asked if she would accept these students, to which she replied positively. The teacher asked if her research budget would be cut this year. She was told that after she presented the first results of the research, the reactor would immediately report to the director and directly provide funding to the woman. After that, it was announced that you and other students can choose mentors. After the meeting, all 3 together with the mentor went to the research room. Hua Fengyan said that although she doesn't know why they chose her, they will try their best. And if students have questions about cultivation, they can just ask her. In case of her incompetence, she will try to find out from other teachers. Tang Ming turned to his mentor and asked her to tell him about the content of her Toriai's research on cultivation. The guy said it would help them choose a direction in martial arts. The mentor agreed. She said that cultivation in China mostly follows the path of ancient cultivators, with only a slight improvement making it more suitable for battles. This path is divided into 9 classes. Cultivators from the 1st to the 4th grade harden their bones, muscles, and skin. 1 thread, 10 threads, 100 threads, and 500 threads of internal Kai energy, respectively. The 4th class is physically strong and invulnerable. Cultivators from the 5th to the 7th grade harden bone marrow, organs, and blood. 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 threads of Kai, respectively. There are less than 1 million level 7 cultivators, so mentor Yu Shan is really strong. As for the 8th rank or even the excellent 9th, there are less than 10,000 such people registered, which shows the difficulty of cultivation. Cultivators must constantly practice martial arts to increase lethality. Martial arts are divided into 4 stages. The highest stage is heavenly. It is the most useful for the development of the body. However, the yellow, the lowest, is also very valuable. Most senior students practice the Kai Men exercise, developed by the state, which develops balance and harmony, thereby allowing them to avoid various troubles. At senior courses, all techniques are given much easier. Secrets of advanced techniques are forbidden to be passed on privately. If anyone wants to study, then they should either go to university. I would serve an influential family, but then they will not be able to transfer them to anyone. But there are a number of high-level Kai exercises that are transmitted only to family members. Just like the Wang family's sword technique, it combines the technique of various martial arts. So, with weapons in their hands, the children of the Wang family can kill an enemy who is much stronger than them. The main exercise of the Fan family, the secret of Tianmen, is a combination of human strength and inner energy. Physical activity is also very impressive. In addition, there are many secret techniques. Their effectiveness varies. The only peculiarity is that they are difficult to spread and practice on a large scale. They were described in school textbooks, but not in too much detail. The mentor told about what they will study at the university. In response to this, Tang Ming said that these are only the most basic theories of cultivation. His mentor should not study such basics. Teacher Hua replied that the purpose of the research is to extend the barrier of cultivation after the 9th grade in order to achieve something new and stronger. She believes that a 9th grade cultivator is far from the peak of cultivation. This is exactly what Tang Ming expected to hear, but the girls were shocked by what they heard. Wang Jin realized that this was why the guy entered Hanbei and chose Hua Fengyan as his mentor. The teacher said that this theory is just her personal assumption, without any actual evidence, too raw for presentation to others. Thus, the peak of the 9th grade, that is, the moment when the life force, blood remain invariably strong, is equivalent to the powers of the Taoist gods. However, the mentor delved into ancient books and could not find any records concerning this issue. It feels like the gods themselves have created a limit in cultivation. The teacher also added that in fact, everyone laughs for days because she allegedly does useless work and it's better to spend time strengthening muscles and practicing. The mentor admitted that she also does not know if she is going in the right direction, but perhaps it's all about her perseverance, which helps her stay afloat. Tang Ming turned to Hua's mentor and told her not to worry about it, because modern and ancient cultivators differ as well as their upper limits. Since the appearance of wormholes, the invasion of Earth is only a matter of time. Wormholes are closely connected to their world and have changed the Earth and the stars to some extent. The guy said that in fact, during the most active period of the appearance of wormholes, astronomers made scientific breakthroughs one after another. Perhaps this is related. The teacher said that the guy says that perhaps the energy of the planet limits the fighting power of humanity. So the strongest people in ancient times were hermits who devoted themselves to cultivation. But now that the measures are closely linked, this restriction may become weaker. Tang Ming added that in addition, almost all modern cultivators have steel bodies and they can move mountains. They have different martial arts, but there are very few psychic attacks. Wang Jin said that the theory of the spirit is very vague and incomprehensible, so few people practice it. For this reason, all the techniques that are associated with this theory are secret. The guy replied that it depends on the spiritual state of a person. If it meets the requirements, then the training will take place smoothly and naturally. The mentor said that perhaps there is a way of spiritual cultivation that does not correspond to the classical one. But after that, the woman wondered why this type of exercise was not passed down from generation to generation. Tang Ming said that perhaps it was because they are transmitted by word of mouth and not on paper, almost like modern discs. They cannot be used without appropriate technologies. The mentor said that the human body is more than physical cultivation. Perhaps spiritual cultivation complements it. A modern cultivator develops only the body, and the inability to advance further after the 9th grade is due to a lack of spiritual strength. The teacher began to write something down and say it under her breath. She said her theory was still too one-sided. The guys said they should go and not interfere with their mentor's research. The guy thought that body and spirit are two higher paths that people can touch. After the 9th rank, they represent the integration of both paths. In her previous life, Hua Fengyan accidentally discovered a spiritual technique 10 years later and wrote a breakthrough theory. But this time she will have more time to think. Tang Ming wanted this theory to come out as soon as possible to increase the fighting power of the people. Wang Jin said that if the news about spiritual cultivation that is different from the usual spread, then it will definitely raise a fuss. Tang Ming replied that this was just his guess. He also said that he had developed spiritual power. He remembered the spiritual technique after seeing it only once, so he thought that there was probably some method associated with the same practice. The girl replied that she would pass this news on to her family and they would try to help mentor Hua's research. She also said that she hopes that the new technology will be able to add combat power to humanity. Fan Zioing said that her family would also support the mentor and she would call her grandfather. The guy said he thinks her theory seems right and then they will study in this direction. If research is suspended due to funding, it will be a big loss for the whole world. Wang Jin told the young man that he can be calm. Families who practice different techniques will not be so superficial, and will understand the importance of this research. Suddenly a guy called out to the girl. He said that they had not seen each other for a long time and was interested in whether she had also come to Hanbei to see him. This guy turned out to be Mujong Xing, a third-year university student, vice president of the Kabuto Club and a third-grade cultivator. The girl asked the guy about why he came. Tang Ming knew that Mujong Xing was the only son of the Mujong family. He was a beloved child, and his father is known as a cultivation genius who led the family to prosperity. Unfortunately, after he died in the wormhole a few years ago, Mujong Xing lost power in the Mujong family. Even as an only son, he was sent to the average by their standards, Hanbei University. The guy replied that as the vice president of the Kabuto Club, He and his deputy Yu Qingyu wanted to personally greet the trio. Seeing the indifference on the part of the girl, the guy said that they were both heirs of cultivator families and should get along well with each other. Mahjong said he didn't expect that two first-class cultivators couldn't kill the girl, since the Wang families are really strong and unshakable. However, the guy did not know how long they would be able to resist. The girl asked the guy if he had sent murderers to her. The guy just smiled in response. He said he just wanted to say hello, because they have several years of study together ahead of them, so he is sure that they will get along and the guy will take good care of her. Mahjong Xing wanted to do something to Tang Ming, but Wang Jin jumped forward and said that it was better for him not to stand in the way of this guy. She suggested that he leave everything in the past. The girl also added that she had told the guy many times that his father's death had nothing to do with her family and he was wrong. Hearing this, the guy got angry and told her to shut up. He said he only changed because of the Wang family's damage. If his father had been alive, he wouldn't have ended up in such a miserable place. The guy added that he was not going to become a scientist or researcher at all. He ordered his subordinate Zhaoxing to teach the trio a lesson and said that he would not take part in fights with dirty commoners. The subordinate replied to his master not to worry, as he was sure that after his blow, Tang Ming would be very ill. Zhaoxing was a third-year student at Hanbei University and a third-grade cultivator. The guy said that the administration wouldn't do anything to him, even if he found out. Tang Ming hit the opponent with all his might and he flew into the wall. Mahjong told Tang Ming that he was good, because even a third-grade cultivator couldn't beat him. The guy also noted that Tang Ming has great strength. He added that his family has no disadvantages of a resource for cultivation and asked the guy if he was interested in communicating with him. Mujon thought that freshmen who possessed such strength could compete with upperclassmen raised by aristocratic families. The guy decided that with such a genius at his side, his position in the family would increase. However, the young man replied that he was not used to groveling. However, if the husband is ready to recognize him as an older brother, then he can consider this offer. The husband, offended and angry, left and thought that he needed to find a way to get rid of him and of the ding-ding. Tang Ming said that he is interested in going out with Mujon for a deadly fight in a month. He said that in any case, I am pleased in each other's company, and my husband probably wants to get rid of him as a potential rival, so they can solve this problem now. Tang Ming thought that if Mahjong Xing made a mistake, he would not interfere with him in the 4th year before the alien invasion. He probably would not have time for Mahjong. The husband called the guy cocky. He said he knows that freshmen brag constantly, but also in the highest level of the 1st grade. He asked the guy if he really believes that his strength is comparable to that of a senior. Wang Jin said that she would also participate, since it all started because of her. After that, Fang Xiaoying said that she would also participate, as she loves to fight the most. Tang Ming asked the guy whether Tom accepted his offer or not. 3 against 3. The loser after the defeat will never disturb the winner, because the dead will not be able to disturb anyone. Hujon replied that he accepted his challenge. They agreed that the killer will be after January. The arena is protected by special contracts of cultivators. The Alliance is not responsible for their deaths. The guy decided that he needed to take this opportunity now to get rid of Tang Ming and Wang Jin. Leaving, the guy said that he wished him to regret it. He, the vice president of the martial arts clubs, still has a lot of power, so he has the opportunity to get away with it. After the guy left, the girl approached Tang Ming and said that he shouldn't have been so impulsive. Because Murong Xing wants to deal with her, they are with the guy and she won't let him attack him. In response, the young man told her to calm down and assured her that the decision was not impulsive. He also said, referring to Xiaoying, that she is almost as strong. Next week, the guy will start preparing the girls, as he needs to get ready as soon as possible to accumulate internal energy. The girl asked her older brother to tell her about what his strength is. She also added that her grandfather once said that even a 2nd-grade cultivator wouldn't be able to withstand her blow. In response to this, the guy said that he had not yet gone to the Alliance trials, so he did not know the answer to this question. But he should be able to compete with the 3rd class. The guy said that he was going to go to the exchange office in order to exchange points for military equipment. The girls said they would go with him.